injured at all?
Not too, just my shoulder.
Okay, can you swim move okay on you?
Sure.
All right. I like a little bit longer people when I do this stuff. We're gonna start off doing some swim move the spider web stuff from the back to start off with, from like basically the turtle position. And then I wanna get into how we can use that same swim move to spider web when we're attacking from the mount and people are bucking us. Very important to understand the 4 pillars of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Ben was just going over one of the 4 pillars, clinch-based guard, or specifically today we were working on rubber guard. You can also work on prison guard, other guards as well too. And recognizing how important, all right, that clinching system is in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. All right, it's one of the, I mean, it's not one of, it's the core concept. It's a clinch-based system. And another thing that we work on, one of the other pillars is our swim move and spiderweb transitions. All right, our swim move and spiderweb, our swim moves are how we are attacking to get to the armbar position. The armbar position is spiderweb, and we have some very specific details that we're gonna hit today too. And we'll probably do, depending on time, I'll definitely do a grip break just so you can get some arm bars in as well too. Let's go head towards Chad. Probably be the best way. All right, our opponent's in all 4s. I'm gonna be in the back. I'm gonna have a seatbelt. And again, it really doesn't matter which way you have your seatbelt. There are methods of transitioning both ways. All right, if you feel more comfortable, I'll come up on your elbows. There we go. You can go on your elbows, not your, there we go. Hooks in, I have my seatbelt, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and underhook our deep hook side to our dominant side. So from the back with my clinch, all right, I like to swim move on this arm, so I'm gonna move out of the clinch. I'm gonna start to get my deep hook, unhook my left leg as my right leg hooks the far thigh. I come down on my forehead, closer to the top of my head and on my forearm, and that's what I'm bringing in my deep hook. My deep hook goes all the way through, my hand goes on my thigh. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to move more perpendicular and drop my left leg off the back of his neck, and now my right foot that was controlling on the far thigh now goes into the armpit. From here, my left knee steps over. His hands are clasped under his chest. And now, very important, I step over, knee down, my shin of my left leg is going to push down, bringing his chin to his chest. At the same time, my right heel is leg curling towards my butt. Very important, I'm not gonna roll over my left shoulder, but I'm gonna twist along the axis of my spine. And then I'm gonna catch an underhook, overhook, left leg comes over the head. My left leg will be the one on the bottom when I cross my ankles, trapping in his shoulder. I'm then gonna waddle my butt back, sit my upper body forward, chest tight into his tricep, pushing into him. My deep hook, this is the most important detail of that transition, of the swim move, and of spider web itself. I can lose any of these other things and recover. If I don't have the deep hook, it's not gonna matter if I lose anything else. Under over, our underhook stops him from turning in. The overhook helps us and stops him from turning away. They can both do a little bit, because if he tries to turn into me, I can straighten my right arm on the far hip. All right, but I can also keep his knee off the mat by keeping it on my chest. Sorry, I can pop and then go back up. If he tries to turn away, I'm hugging this one tight, or I can also push back on this leg, turn away. So you can do a little bit of both. I generally come in and go under, over to start, and then when I start working on my grip break, I'll isolate the single leg when I'm doing this. Now, very important, let's go, oh, right here would be perfect. Just so.
Everything we do from basic path, those are all the basic building blocks and principles of how we play rubber guard, so you understand where you are. You actually get to understand what we're trying to accomplish with all the different body parts, right? We know that, like in basic path, for example, just assuming the guy's broken down, let's start right here. We've broken them, let's start right here. We've broken them down we're shrimping out. I'm trying to get this foot in the hip, right? Why is this foot in the hip? It helps us keep them from coming forward. We're gonna get on our side. We start to bring this knee up. Why? We want to pinch down and control his posture with this knee. We're keeping him clinched the whole time, right? We're destroying this arm. Now we can't get punched. Now we can get a better angle. We can squeeze with our knee. We understand from the basic path that this foot is doing a job. This knee pinching up is doing a job. This knee is doing a job, right? We know what all those things are from the basic path. And that's really important that we learn that. However, it's a lot of steps. If they give us something else or we end up in a different position, maybe we're not starting in full guard. So you got to be able to get to rubber guard from other ways as well. And if they're giving you something, there's no sense to do a whole bunch of steps if they're giving you some things and you can skip them. That being said, we're prepared to do it, as Coach says, one step at a time if we have to, the hard way, if they're not making any mistakes. Right? So what I really want to do, so don't say like I'm throwing away basic path. It's nothing like that. We're just doing a couple of things with some shortcuts based on where we start. So we're going to start in Z guard today. So I want to talk about this leg first. Right? When we play rubber guard and we're talking about basic path, we always want this foot in the hip. Specifically, we don't want it between his legs because we're not in New York anymore, we're in New Jersey, right? And we're taught from day one, this is a bad thing, or at least you don't want to stay here long. You're going to have to do a meat hook or fire and flip and get your foot across their face or something, right? If I just stay here with my foot in Jersey, John's going to push the knee down, slice, and everything just fell apart. All right? Specifically today, we're basically putting ourselves in New Jersey, right? Because we're in Z guard. So that means my foot's already between his legs. However, notice my foot, we're going to trap his bottom leg here. All right? That gives him some resistance to help with him knee slicing right away. We also have a knee across when we're starting here. All right? I'm framing across his shoulder here to here. I like to get my arm underneath his chin, and I like to check the bicep here. I'm also not flat on my back, just like rubber guard, I'm on my side. Right? I could, if I wanted to attack, I could go here and bring my foot up more to like a New York position and start to attack. But that's not what we're doing today. Okay? We're here. John's pressuring into me. My leg is pushing back into him, giving him resistance. And then I'm going to reach up as I shoot my leg out. You can get an overhook. I feel like the arm tends to get trapped for what we're going to. So for today, just try it out. We're here. I'm going to open, and I'm almost going to do like a shotgun arm bar type grip here, right, where we're grabbing and pinching. My knee pushes out, and we accept John's weight forward. All right. From here, as soon as we get here, I'm clasping the back of the neck to help control his posture, because if I don't do anything, John's just going to walk right back up. And we've lost all of it. So we're here. We shoot. John comes forward. I keep him trapped. I'm on my side. I've got my foot in New Jersey. It's underneath, but I'm trapping his ankle. From here, I'm going to bring my knee to my chest. Here, still on my side, and I'm pinching down. Automatically, I throw my leg over. We're basically in a mission control position, but our foot is not in the hip. It's on the bottom. All right? I got a good job of controlling his posture here, but there's not a lot going on that's stopping him from passing because my foot's in New Jersey. So we got to make a decision right here. I can try to fight my foot back up to the hip. So we're more in New York position. Now this is stopping John from coming forward and knee slicing. I can reach across and start to play the meat hook game. The thing we're going to do today is, and again, you can't hesitate. You have to do one of these things quickly or he's going to pass. What we're going to do today is the fire and flip. So I'm very much on my side. My hand is going to let go of my ankle and clasp the back of his head. My other hand is going to the inside of the knee. I'm grabbing my toes and the blade of my foot, and I'm going to fire and flip over. And then I'm going to re-grab. Now it's going to be really tough for John to knee slice through. He's got to start dealing with the fact that he might get choked in a go-go clinch. How John's defending this today, he can do a couple different things. But to really finish the go-go clinch, I got to pull my leg out and triangle. What John does, John knows that. So once I flip this over and he realizes he's beat, he's going to just put your forearm and elbow on the mat, slide back, and I'll cup my knee so I can't pull it out. He's here. He knows he got beat with his foot getting over the neck. but he doesn't want to let me get this foot out of New Jersey. He doesn't want to let me get it back to the hip. And he doesn't want to let me come out for this go-go clinch and go-go clinch here in triangle. All right, so the guy on top, once you realize the foot is across, you're just going to kind of hug this knee so I can't get it back into play. To break it down, I'm here as John pushes in. My hand opens and grabs onto the shoulder, pinches. My leg shoots out. That means John's weight comes in. I bring my knee to my chest and I hug. Then I flip, and I'm basically in a mission control position, except that my foot's in New Jersey. So I recognize that. I've got to do something, or he's going to pass my guard. He's going to knee slice. What we're choosing to do today is I'm going to cup the back of his head to control his posture. My hand goes inside the knee line. I'm going to grab the blade of my foot. We're going to flip across, and I'm going to grab. John, yeah, go back the way you were. I like that better. John's just reacting by keeping this knee here. All right. Questions on that? This arm? Yeah, so if you're going to do the go-go clinch, it's got to be over the knee. Because what you got to understand with the go-go clinch, I'm going here, right? The choke isn't so much what's going on with my hands, it's my hamstring pushing this direction towards coach, right? If I'm inside the knee, I see people try to do it here, there's like no bite at this point. You also want to have your hand, don't turn it this way, turn it this way, so your radius bone's in their neck. All right, so we're here. You want it outside the knee. And now I can push with my foot in.
Also, if you let it go, is that better or is that important?
Like you're saying, right?
Like dexterity.
Yep, so we shoot, and you're saying just flip right over?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We call that actually like a flying kung fu move. All right, so let's talk about that for a second, because it's a good question. Like basic mission control, right? If my foot's in the hip, we go here, we're mission control here. We're hugging everything. We zombie, we isolate, right? And then our next step, this is where it really starts to change. There's like 3 levels of it. This is the most basic one we do in the basic path, where we clear the head, regrip the chill dog, and then we do our kung fu move through, right? 3 steps to do that, right? We were here, 1, 2, 3, right? Fire and flip, it's a little bit faster, right? But there's a little less control, so you gotta go quick. So this one, we just saw 3 steps. Fire and flip, I'm hugging the back of the neck. I grab and flip, so 2 steps. Flying kung fu move, the one you're asking about, can I just come here and flip all the way over? It's 1 step. Problem is, right here, if we go in slow motion, there's very little keeping his posture, all right? And the whole point of rubber guard, don't ever forget, whether we're starting here, he's postured up. We do these drills all the time, right, where we break their posture down. This is the whole point of it here, is break his posture down so I'm not getting bunched. I never want to give that back at any point. So as we work to go our basic path, or wherever we go, we're always clinching the whole time. The whole point of this is to pinch on the shoulder and keep his posture controlled the whole time. So I would rather go 1 step at a time if I have to and ensure I keep his posture than hope I can get this over and John pulls off and we lost everything. All right, so you're controlling the posture the whole time. If you can flip it all the way over, if you got the dexterity, you should absolutely start working to do that, right? That's how you catch people. I do it all the time if I can, right? If I get a clear shot, flip it over and done. Just realize you're going to depend a little bit on speed and dexterity to do it. And there's a moment in time, if John really knows what's going on, he might get a chance to get out. But I think it's worth the trade-off, right? This fire and flip somewhere in between. I'm not going like completely all or nothing and just throwing it over because I'm still holding the back of his head, right? There's a moment there, it's just my hand holding them, but it's still something as opposed to just throwing it across. I'm just relying on speed. Let's give it a try. Ready?
Real quick. Very important thing that's happening in the sequence. Back to sequence. Ben said something that's very important. He's seeking something out immediately when he's in Z-guard. What is it? The clinch. Thank you. The clinch. He's not staying here. Ben is not. Like if John can throw punches, Ben will tell you this is not a safe spot. He has to work to a clinch immediately. If he can't get the underhook, can you do Z shoot the dogfight?
Yep.
If he can't get the underhook and then come up the dogfight, all right, because he won the underhook right there. The other option B in that scenario, we still have to clinch to minimize the amount of damage that's happening to us. He's doing the Z shoot to overhook. But the key ingredient is in both of those sequences, he's seeking out a clinch from Z guard immediately. He's not hanging out from clinch and throwing a party. All right? Especially if you're training MMA for folks that are fighting MMA or interested in combat jiu-jitsu, you don't want space in Z guard when you're on the bottom. All right, you need to get that clinch right away, and that's exactly what Ben's talking about. The whole reason we go lockdown, super stomp to butterfly, to sweep from butterfly, isn't so that we can go lockdown, super stomp to butterfly. It's lockdown, super stomp to rubber guard, which is essentially what we're doing right in this moment. Can you do super stomp to right to it? Sure. Base down, shoot the hips out, and then right there. Okay? Because he never lost the clinch there at all. He was clinched the entire time. As soon as he goes wizard pinball to the bottom of half guard, wizard pinball bottom of half guard, we're taking away one half of his punching power. And the other hand's doing what? You're on the hip until you can do what? Until you can bicep control and break him down even further into a deeper clinch once he gets the rubber guard, shutting down the ability to do serious damage from inside the guard with punches because we're eliminating that space.
The only reason we're in that Z guard in the first place is because he's pressuring so hard, right? He's trying to come forward and smash us. That leg and hip's the last thing that's stopping it. So I'm using it to break him down, right? He's leaning against it and we're pulling that, whatever it is, that support out from underneath him. He's coming forward. Like Coach said, we got this arm trapped. He comes forward, I'm gonna keep him down. That's why my knee and everything follows so quickly, right? We wanna keep him down. If we broke the posture, don't let him get it back. If he gets it back, especially like in MMA, he's back, now we can start posturing and throwing. So we want to keep him clinched down the whole time. Remember, there's two places you can't get hit. You can't get hit if you're far enough away, or you can't hit if you're close enough. Obviously, in grappling, they're close enough to hit you. So keep them so close that they can't get any power into their hits. Rabbit punches.
What we're trying to differentiate is taking superficial damage, or damage that's going to give us CTE. There's a huge difference, right? Superficial damage, a little abrasions, scratches, maybe a bruise or two. All right, but we're going home today, no problem. Worst case scenario, we get home, we open up that steak, put it on your face, tenderize your black eye that you got. All right, what we're trying to minimize is our head getting bounced off the ground, the shots that could do some serious damage to us. All right, and that's the whole essence of a clinch-based system. Minimize the amount of damage that could potentially happen to us when we're playing on the bottom.
So as you're going through the areas that matter the most, and I don't care what path of rubber guard it is, there's a lot of different paths. One of the key things that people screw up the most, they don't get on their side enough. Why is that important? Because if I'm on my side, I can't possibly pinch down on this shoulder and control this posture, right? That is a good deal of the clinch, right? Is pinching down with this shoulder and keeping his posture down towards the mat. The more I lift this leg, the more he squares up, and the more he's in a position to pass or punch. It doesn't matter. Either way, there's space. Right? When I'm attacking, that's our job, right? We want to try to eliminate space. What's John want to do when he's on defense? Because he is on defense here, make no mistake. Once I throw my foot in front of his face, he's on defense. When he's on defense, he wants to create space. So we're trying to take it away from him. And the number one way we do that is pinch down the shoulder. How do you pinch down the shoulder? Get out on your side so I can pinch down like this. You're hugging that knee and pinching down on his shoulder. The more I go here, there's no pinch anymore, and John just starts to posture up. That's what we don't want. So be cognizant of that the whole time. Am I controlling his posture? Am I keeping him clinched? Am I on my side enough to allow me to do that? All right? Everybody got it? Let's give it a try. Ready? Sure. Let's start right out. So get your Z guard. Yep. Let's try to get this elbow here and the hands up. This is your main frame right here. Good. Now, an overhook right here. Pinch back. Good. Now, scoot out on your side just a little bit. Good. Now you're going to bring your knee right up over his shoulder here. Try to bring your knee to your chest. This hand's going to hug your knee now. This hand hugs the knee. Good. Let's pinch it down towards the mat that way. Perfect. Your right hand's going to let go of the bicep. Grab under the foot. Under the shin, sorry. Yep. Let's go right under the ankle, sorry. Right over here. Perfect. And now that's your clinch. Let's shoot out on your side a little bit more. Always going to adjust so you can pinch this knee down. Cool. Now, this hand's going to go to the back of his neck, so just turn and grab his neck. Right here. Yep, that's fine. Right grab right here. Right? This hand is going to reach inside your knee and grab your toes. Pull that foot in front of his face here. And you pull across, so kind of bend it out this way and loop it back down. Now you're just going to get your gable grip around your head, around his head, and go over your knee. And that's where you're going to stop, right there. Scoot your bottom hip up, stack on your side more. Good. See how your foot's almost on the mat now? Yeah. Okay. Now when your hand goes to the head, that was fine. Go to his neck. Reach inside, grab your foot, and then freeze. Okay. What I don't want you to do is lift up this way and almost open your knee and hip back up. What's the only way to keep pressure down but still clear his head? So you're going to keep pressure down. Extend your foot this way. And then go down. See how your knee didn't raise? As opposed to going here. Make sense?
Yeah, typically when you're doing that, you're flattening yourself out too.
Yeah, and you're going more to your back, which means if you're on your back, you can't pinch the knee, which means you can't control his posture.
Max, pull your bottom.
Remember, the most important thing we talked about is I got to be on my side so I can pinch my knee so he can't get his posture back up. All right? This is an important detail. When I'm here, people are going in here. Watch what happens if I do this incorrectly. Watch my knee. I want to pinch it down, right? If I pull towards my, am I controlling his posture right now? Absolutely not. Why? Because I'm not on my side anymore and I can't pinch down with my knee. There's nothing there controlling his posture except my hand a little bit. That's not enough. If I am enough on my side, I have to pinch down with my knee. Extend your leg the way it wants to go, this way. See how there's still pressure on John's shoulder? Now bring it back in front.
Also, not torquing your knee remotely as much as you were before.
Absolutely. I don't know, we probably won't get there anyways, but I'm even getting to the point now where, okay, we've cleared in front of the head. Right? Even there, did you see that? My foot goes out and back in, as opposed to here. There's nothing on John's shoulder. I can't pinch down. This is really, really critical. This makes a huge difference in my rubber guard game. If I concentrate on this first and foremost, is controlling his posture, and not even worried about what submission I might get to, or if I can even clear his face, but this is my main focus the whole time. And I do that by turning more and more. It gets to the point, look, John can't roll because I've got his foot stapled back here. It gets to the point where my rubber guards, I don't even do fire and flip a lot of times anymore. I just go here and curl back. John, did you have any chance of getting out there? So you really can't get, I'm finding more and more, the more I play it over the years against people that are getting better and better, every time I mess up, every time someone gets out of rubber guards because I messed up, right? I didn't do one of these 4 or 5 key details. So rather than have it be a speed thing where I'm going to open up and hope I beat them and get it back down, which a lot of us are doing right now, we're starting pretty good. We grab the foot, people are going here, and I'm exaggerating, but that's not good. It's just speed, right? Go the other way, go down. Even if I can't reach my toes anymore, I'll do it with the toes, so we're doing it the same way. Can you just move your hand out of the way just for the purposes of this? Right, I'm here. I don't even have his head anymore, okay? But what can I do? I can go out and keep my pinch down the whole time on his shoulder. Now it's not speed. John physically can't posture up when I'm pinching down. Watch my knee. It doesn't open like this if I'm doing it right. There. Also, I'm not using hip flexibility or knee flexibility. My leg naturally goes this way. Everybody can do that.
Zero pressure on his knee.
Everybody can bring their knee to their chest like this, pretty much. Right? Most everybody can do that. That's not flexibility. And pretty much everybody can straighten their leg. If you can do those 2 things, you can play rubber guard. Right? So all I'm doing is just going straight out and right back under. If John doesn't pick his head up, which they normally do, because what's he trying to do? He's trying to posture up. Take up the space. Now I'm right where I want to be. And I'm not doing it by going back like this. Again, if we're grabbing the toes, do the same thing. My knee stays down. I pinch down the whole time because our number 1 objective that Coach and I were talking about is controlling his posture. This is probably the most important thing you can remember in rubber guard, besides like keeping your foot in the hip and stuff in the beginning so you don't get passed, right? It's all about controlling.
No confusion. That's a clinch. What he's doing with his legs is a clinch.
Absolutely. Controlling his posture. I'm squeezing the whole time. Work on your squeezes. Just like we work on squeezing our lockdown, our rear naked chokes and everything. Get good at squeezing this. Right? This is my clinch. Right? I can squeeze here a long time with my skinny legs. Right? So we're here. So we're going to run through it again. Just when you get here, if you feel like this, first of all, be like, my knee's up in the air, which means I'm not on my side enough. So stack your shoulders a little bit. If you can hold on to the head, fine, right? But really what I'm trying to do is control his posture the most with this knee. Come inside. I'm just going to go straight with my leg. Curl back in, right? That's what we're doing. If you guys are getting better and better at it, go even more belly down. Kick here. Trust it. As long as I'm not being loose. If you're really worried about him limp arming out, just limp arm out once, John. Thumb down and limp arm out with his arm. If you're worried about that, then put a hand on his elbow. Right? You're hugging the knee anyways. You're here. If when you actually start to go, hug his elbow. Now he can't limp arm out. Curl back. And then go back to hugging your knee. This is helping keep my knee pressured down. Does that make sense to everybody? We're going out and back, not out and over. Right? Those details, everybody can. Oh, yeah, you got your hand up.
One thing real quick. Can you go back? Just, I don't care what position. Look where Ben's bottom knee is. Can you sit up a little bit, John, so they can see? Do you see it's not past his butt the other direction? It's in front of the hips. Some of you are leaving your leg past and can't figure out why your hip won't work. If Ben stretches his right leg and it's way deeper, he's not going to be able to play rubber guard either, no matter how flexible he is. All right? He wants his knee cleared and passed through when he's doing all that work. See how it's on the near side of their hips, the side closest to us.
Think of it this way, if nothing else, right? If it's here, I have trouble starting to withdraw my hips and stand up, right? I can't stand up if my leg's way too deep this way either, right? If my leg's here at any point, if I want to, I can start to come up, right? We can do sweeps from here, or if you're a striker, you can just get back to your feet, right? But it's really hard for me to do this, just to really get, like just bring your knee forward and kind of block my hip. I have no option with drawing my hips now. I'm gonna have to try to do this type of stuff and fight to get it back, right? If I'm playing here, not only does it make my rubber guard and everything better, it's really easy to start withdrawing like a technical stand-up, right? Which is good too, all right? Does that make sense to everybody? So when we get to that position, everyone's getting there. Don't open up your hip and lift to the ceiling. We're going straight and curling back. Make sense? Give it a try. I don't like it as much though, because
he can still throw. If it's Chad, he's going to throw you on your ass.
Yeah. I'm finding here though it's super effective. So it doesn't even matter where this leg is, right?
Yeah, it's the normal. You come up with.
Let me get it back. Whether he gets this or not, I can just do it. But I'm already down. Now I just walk up. You can't pull that arm out ever, and I'm right into my straitjacket. No, but you're rolling through for them.
Yeah, you do the same thing. Just do it right from there. He's going to have to chase you. Let the left foot go as he wants to roll, right?
Right.
So get your knee down on that like you did before. Hug his elbow now.
Yep.
Now just as Sean rolls, you just go with him. Sit right up there. You go.
Then we're right on
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly right.
And then we can sit back and hit. Cool. Yeah, I've been rolling. I've been posturing back.
Right here. Boom.
You're just rolling. Yeah. You end up in the exact same spot. Cool.
That knee pinch.
It's the whole, yeah.